Welcome to another episode of Trending Up with Edgar de Leon and Sebastián Lopez. We hope you enjoy and are challenged to live life differently as you keep trending up. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Trending Up. Here we are again. Sorry about that.
What an intro.
What an intro. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's Hurricane Dorian, and he's just taking my breath away, man. Here we are again, Enneagram Type 3. We're very excited to be talking about the Achiever, the success-oriented, pragmatic type. Very, very, very interesting. And also, again, a privilege to be with Edgar because Edgar is actually a 3. That's his top number. If you listened last episode, Type 2, Edgar was a 3, then a 2, and so we really got an inside look. So today we'll get more of an inside look into what a 3 is. I'm excited for that. And once again, if you don't have any idea what an Enneagram is, we invite you to go back to the episode that talks about the Enneagram, the intro, and you'll have more understanding of what we're doing and why we're doing it. And so, yeah, Edgar, I don't know if you want to kick us out. What is the 3, the Type 3 Enneagram?
Yeah. So type 3s, they are people who like to earn accolades or like to earn degrees. They are the ones that want to be the best in the class.
Right.
The ones that want to be the best player on the team. They're the ones that want to be the best musician. They're the ones that want to be the best. So they're very...
It's like the people that want to get invited to the White House.
Yeah. They're people.
You have a story like that, right? You were like back in the day.
Oh man,
what was it?
Back in what was it?
Grade? I don't know.
And this is right? I think it was 3rd grade. Yeah, this was 3rd grade. I was invited to the White House. I guess they. This is back in President Bush. He was back when President Bush was in the office, and I guess smart Latino kids want to be displayed at the White House. So they wanted to. No, I did not go.
Wow, you didn't. Oh my,
bro! My mom had bigger responsibilities besides sending me to DC
to the White House to go to DC. Nah, you're good, bro. You're an achiever, though. You have been individually singled out by the United States government as a smart individual. Look at that, man.
Back then. So that's funny. I was gonna put my brother on blast, but anyways, I don't know where that letter is. My mom is my mom, and she some people
frame it or put it
in your mom, Sebastian. I know your mom just a little bit from your mom would have framed that, right?
Yeah, she would have framed it. It would have been in the fridge, and then it would have been framed in a cuadro or something.
Yeah. So my mom is not like that. So who knows where that letter is? Probably in some landfill, probably decomposing right now.
Decomposing in shreds, but
awesome. Yeah. 3s. They want to achieve, but sometimes it comes out of feelings of inadequacy. So 3s want to achieve because they have low self-esteem. They want to feel better about themselves, so they want to do well. I remember in 3rd grade, I was walking with a elementary school friend, and in middle school, and he asked, Edgar, why do you try so hard at school? And I remember telling him, I want to try hard because my family's poor, and this is the only way we're going to get out of this economic poverty. And I remember this is so imprinted. I remember the kid's name is Raul. We are Facebook friends today, I think. He told me this. He probably does not remember this, but we're on our way somewhere, some after school activity. But I remember telling him this because I wanted to achieve a certain type of academic achievement in order to supply some confidence for my low self-esteem in my poverty-stricken state. Does that make sense?
Right.
It's an achievement, wanting to achieve because I'm self-conscious about my whatever state I'm in. So threes are achievers. They want to work hard.
Yeah.
Some people will say they're leaders, but like we've mentioned in this podcast, there's good and healthy threes, and there's unhealthy threes.
Right.
So the threes are wanting to achieve. They can seem self-assured. They are attractive people and charming.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
Right.
But what else can you tell me about threes, Sebastian?
I think one thing is that threes kind of have an idea and an image in their minds of what success is.
Yeah.
And they'll do everything possible to become what they believe is a valuable, successful person, right? So
Yeah.
they threes will learn to perform well, to be acceptable, even outstanding, and are often driven relentlessly in their pursuit of success
Yeah.
as a way of starving out feelings of shame and fears of failure. So that leads us to what our basic fears are for a three is a basic fear of being worthless, right? Of feeling unneeded, similar to type ones, right? Well, I guess ones were more of being bad or if not of being not good. So the basic desire of threes is to feel valuable and worthwhile, right? To know that your hard work is being recognized and that it is actually contributing to something, right? Some words that would describe a three would be excelling, driven, charming, ambitious, but at times image conscious and competitive and a workaholic. And I'm sure we all have these people in mind when we think of a three, someone that's just a go-getter, just always working. I think Kobe would have been a three, maybe a 3 and an 8. Kobe Bryant, our boy, just always, he have stories of him, being at practice. When practice starts, let's say at 11, he was already at the gym at 5 a.m., just putting up shots and shooting 1,000 shots. And then he was the first one to go in and the last one to leave. So just consumed with, ball is life, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And just recently, for those listeners who are well aware of our fandom in Laker and being part of the Laker Nation, being part of the Lakers.
Yes, sir.
Kobe was our franchise player for 20 years or whatever, give or take, and he was just caught. Kobe first won 3 championships with Shaquille O'Neal. Everybody knows he's on the Icy Hot commercials, TNT. He's a big man, 7'1", whatever. And they clashed in their leadership styles because Kobe was so driven to be the best.
Right.
Kobe said this past week that Shaq could have been the best and won 12 championships if he tried to work as hard as he did. So sometimes threes are hard to work with because they demand so much because they're trying to work so much.
Because for them, that's like the norm. Like if you're not giving 125%, then why are you giving anything? Like it's either all or nothing, right? Yeah. So they typically have problems with workaholism. Is that how you say it?
Just say workaholics. Just
workaholics. They're workaholics and they're competitive, right? But at their best, they're self-accepting, authentic, and everything they seem to be role models who inspire others, right? So they can be great because they can be an inspiration not only in their work ethic but in their careers and what they accomplish, right? They can help others and do that.
I think you hit it on the head, Sebastian, when you said at their best and at their worst. So what we find is in life you can you may be like how can I say it? There's a great opportunity for you to be the best that you are. But just because there's opportunity, there's also the opposite, which is the opportunity also to be the worst. So I think as we're trending up, God looks at the best, and it's a projection as we move forward. So we're continually moving forward. So I think we need to understand that about each one of us. You may not be a 3, you may not be a 2, you may not be a 1. We're gonna get eventually to 4 through 9, but at least you need to be aware of where you're at and how to be healthy.
Right. And threes can excel as executives, as coaches, as actors, producers, lawyers, and agents, and obviously many more. But you kind of see the idea, these people at the front. I think 3s and 8s would be great leaders if they have the healthy traits and characteristics. They would be great leaders at companies or corporations or businesses or just team leaders because they know what needs to get done and how it needs to get done. I would put 1s in there too. So yeah, they want to be affirmed, to distinguish themselves from others, to have attention, to be admired, and to impress others. And again, these are core longings that we as humans have, that I believe God has placed into us, because we desire relationship, right? From our first official episode about a relationship, right? That's what we desire. So key motivations. But yeah, moving into the spiritual realm. Well, who are some biblical figures? I know we found a couple here. Edgar, I don't know if you want to start. Who do you think are some good?
Well, someone that comes to mind is Saul.
Yeah.
In the Old Testament, we find
Yeah.
the first king of Israel, the first king ever to reign for Israel was a man named Saul. And we find that he was tall, he was strong, he had the charisma of a leader. He wanted, there was moments in his life where he wanted so much that that was his pitfall. So the first idea comes in the latter part of his life, that he erected I believe it was an altar, right?
Right.
He took the mantle of a prophet and did something that he shouldn't have done.
Right.
And Samuel comes and he reprimands him. He gets mad at him. And that is, then Saul's like, what? Like,
hey, what did you,
like what did you expect me to do? People want, things to be done. If people, need something, I'm gonna, and I know I can do it, or I think I know I can do it, I'm going to, this actually led to his downfall, because as he was driven to be the best king, he wasn't fulfilling his role of being a child of God.
Right.
And that led to him dying some people would say a poetic death.
Right.
He died on his, I believe, his own sword. I think that's pretty incredible. That
very interesting. Yeah.
And also it's twofold, because he was driven to be the best, be the best king and so forth, but it was also pressures that were put on by others.
Yeah, it was this image conscience that he had of pleasing the people, and I'm the king, so I have to have everything right and ready.
Exactly. And remember, God never designed for us to have what people will say earthly king. God never designed it. God wants to be the king of our lives. He doesn't want your pastor to be the king. He doesn't want the Pope to be the king. He doesn't want
the president. Humans. He knows how we are. He knows how we are.
He knows. And we find that the unhealthy needs of the people led to an unhealthy leader, which led to his downfall.
Right.
It's important to know who we are in order to understand our expectations and also our failure, like where we can fail.
That's good.
Who else?
Someone else that I think of is Jacob. Jacob from Jacob. So very image conscience. You kind of go through the story of him, right? They believe that he's one of the Bible characters that most closely embodies a Enneagram number. Jacob as a 3. Yeah. He fights with his brother when he's in his mother's womb, trying to be the first, right? Trying to achieve it. I don't know if he actually thought, whatever. But the point is, the Bible tells us that they were fighting. He wants to be first. He devises a plan with his mom to steal the birthright, which belongs to his older brother, right? To be the firstborn in that culture. Being the firstborn meant once your father died, you received the land and everything else that came with it. As his father is about to die, Jacob pretends to be Esau, his brother, to receive his father's blessing, right? So he's trying to step over the other people to receive what he believes is his, right? To achieve what he desires. After hearing this, Esau is furious, and so Jacob flees for his life. And on the journey, he has a dream, and get this, it's about a ladder, right? We talk about the corporate ladder of climbing to the top, right? Yeah. So it's all about climbing up and down, and he's finally humbled, and he's on the run from his brother. But it's always about, it was his whole early childhood kind of story in his young age is just about what he can achieve and what he can get, right? Tricking others to give them what he desires, the birthright, right? Going and lying to his very own father. It's all about him. And many times it's the ideas like his mom, and obviously he was promised to be the son that would, even though he wasn't the firstborn, he was going to receive the most blessings or whatever. But I think it's sometimes these ideas that we have of this image that we have of ourselves of, oh, okay, I'm raised to be the best. And many times we threes can take that idea and image, overload, and as overdo it and just trample over others without having any, regard to the timing of God, right? Of saying, I'm going to take it into my own hands and do it now. So yeah, very much. I think Jacob is a very good example there.
Yeah, and I just came to thought, Jacob, I believed, wrestled with God, right?
Oh yeah.
And why? Because he wanted to be blessed.
Yeah.
So his
Bless me. Yeah.
driven,
Yeah.
his
Wow. That's good.
drive
Right.
to want to receive a blessing from God led to him fighting, like wrestling, physical match with
Wow.
God. This is
Even with God. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and but there's a downfall.
Yeah.
God blesses, but what does it say? The scripture says that
His hip,
he
his out of socket.
touched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he like your wife's a PT, is a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah.
The right touch at the right angle. I,
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, I think. Um, sometimes pastors don't remember everything perfectly. Okay, so please forgive me. I'm pretty sure Jacob or Israel would
Mm-hmm.
have a limp, right?
Oh yeah, for like a continual limp, right,
Yeah,
for the rest of
a
his life.
reminder,
Right,
right?
right, right.
A
To
physical.
that it's not based off of your work and what you can accomplish.
Yeah,
That's
but think
good.
about
That's
this, like
good.
his image, right? His
Right.
image of wanting to look so good
Oh, wow. Yeah.
and driven to be blessed by God
Right. Right. Right.
now is affected the
Wow.
way he even walks, which is the
Wow.
first thing people notice when you walk into a room.
Wow. Wow. So
Wow.
he can never be seen as the guy that he's always gonna have a limp, the guy with the
Yeah.
limp. Dude,
Yeah.
that's good, man. That's good. And we have, I mean, we time evades us, but Joseph, I think, would be another one like that too. Joseph,
Yeah.
early
Yeah.
on, his dad gives him a really cool coat of colors, wears it proudly, tells others his dreams of like, I'm gonna be the best, like you're gonna worship me. Then he's humbled through his journey.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we could go on, but some of the strengths for threes as we go on. You are driven. If you are three, Edgar, this is for you. I'm talking to you.
Okay. All
You're
right.
driven and success oriented, sometimes to the point of caring more about how you appear to others than you should, but
Mm-hmm.
you're faithful and focused, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
some growth recommendations, right? It is essential to be truthful. Be honest with yourself and others about your genuine feelings and needs. And so I think like twos, right? You can, and threes, type threes can hide what they're actually feeling and needing because they feel like they either twos have to help others or and threes have to achieve. Like, kind of this idea of immigrants, right? Coming to this country, to the US, and saying, I can't dwell on what I don't have and the
Mm-hmm.
pains that I'm feeling and not getting enough sleep or food. Like, I have to hustle until I get the American dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in reality, that's not healthy. And by doing that, you're going to hurt yourself and hurt those around. So, it's important for you to be in tune with yourself and take time to like, what is it? What is you got a mind? You got a you got a thought?
Yeah. No. Okay. So this just came
Well,
up in my mind. Okay.
yeah.
This Sabbath, I'm preaching about the Sabbath,
Yeah.
and the idea that for it's not, I didn't make it up. This is
Yeah. It's
I
awesome.
think it's the
Cool.
idea is that the Sabbath is a challenge to
Wow.
the idea that someone that we may want to achieve everything in our lives.
Right.
So
Right.
the Sabbath is a challenge against our own economic pursuits.
Oh
The
wow.
Sabbath is a
Right.
challenge to our own like sports interests.
Right.
The Sabbath is a call that not everything that you want,
Right.
like life is not focused on just what you want,
Right. Right. Right.
but the Sabbath is a challenge to remember that there's more to life than your
Yeah.
accolades,
Wow.
than
Wow.
your interests.
Right. Right.
Um, and
That's
yeah,
good, bro. That's good. That's good.
huh,
That's
yeah,
deep,
nice.
bro. That's deep. So yeah, moving into the second recommendation, you can do also how you got to develop charity and cooperation in your relationships. You can do this by taking time to pause in a busy day, like you're saying, the Sabbath, to really
Mm-hmm,
connect with someone you care about.
mm-hmm,
For us that are Christian and have a connection with God, this is a Sabbath. I think is perfect time where
yeah,
you're stopping from your achievements, from you
yeah,
trying to be the best doctor or
mm-hmm,
lawyer or student or teacher or parent or
mm-hmm,
pastor.
mm-hmm,
Stop. Obviously, I guess pastors are working on Saturday, but
mm-hmm,
another question. That's another topic. But stopping and really connecting with something you care about, whether that's God or maybe going to the beach or walking your dog, just stopping and allowing yourself to find rest, which I think is what God wants to give us, a Sabbath rest, a break. stop, right? Full of
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
And that goes along with the third part, take breaks. I think it's important to stop and take breaks, because you can lead yourself to exhaustion and overwhelm and just overwork yourself in your pursuit of your goals because you're just so ambitious and everything. So what about the other ones, Edgar? What would you say?
I would say that, give me a second, I just
Yeah.
lost track. Um, that uh, that threes need to be okay that with the idea that they're accepted by others,
Right.
n- not just based on what they receive,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
So threes are need to realize that you have value in your family and your relationships, and
Right.
not just based on how much hours you worked or how much money you
Right.
give,
Right. Right. Right.
but on you yourself. So um, threes are the um, threes are the parent who works so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have enough money, but they work
Yeah.
so much
Yeah.
that they don't spend time with their kids
Mm-hmm.
and don't know their kids,
Right.
and then
Yeah.
are frustrated
Right.
when their kids don't want to be with them, right?
Right. Because you can have all the money, the best house, and and put them on all the things, but if you don't have that time with them, you
Yeah,
just overwork yourself and you burn the bridges of your families. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
And I think this really speaks to, I think, pastors, obviously to every other profession too, but especially us two pastors. It's a reminder that we have this image that many times is put on us by our church or conference or even by our own minds, and to not allow that image to dictate how we live our lives per se.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
obviously, we want to maintain standards and whatnot, but because then you can neglect your personal life. I've seen so many, not just pastors, but people that work in administration in hospitals and businesses and corporations that have their own businesses, just neglect their family, but they think that they're providing because they're giving financially, right? Or you're providing for them, but in reality you're not present. And I think it's important, that's why it's so important for threes, that even though you're providing in financial means and everything else, that your presence is very important to those in your family and your inner circle. So it's important to take breaks and to stop. And yeah, I don't know if you have any other thing that you, for
yeah.
personal growth, that you see.
No, no. I don't. How are you? If you don't,
Yeah, I think
um,
that's,
l- I think as we wrap up like today's episode,
yeah.
some of you are gonna be like, "Pfft, that doesn't sound like me. I
Right.
don't care about like a degree. I don't care about
Right.
a master's. I just want to live life, and I'm okay.
Yeah. And we're not
Uh,
saying that not to care either, right? It's
no,
not
no, we're
like,
not.
just, don't try
No,
hard or don't try to achieve what you
uh,
have
but it's good to know that you are surrounded by someone who's a three.
Yeah.
And when you figure out that your friend is a three,
Mm-hmm.
help that friendship by, communicating to them.
Right. Right.
I care about you regardless of what you accomplish.
Right. 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 That's good.
I think it's always good to support our like friends and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
family, and that's what's important. Like these episodes are important to. This has helped me love my own family and
Right. Right.
myself,
Right. That's
the
good.
people around me, and in besides like my work and stuff. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
it's important to understand this, and I hope people find this valuable. What are your closing remarks, Sebastian?
Yeah, I would say two things, and one of them is found in Enneagram and Coffee, the Instagram page, and you can see that in our show notes. But they say for threes, failure is necessary growth. So I think many times because you're trying to achieve, you see a setback or failure.
Yeah.
It's just part of life. That's the reality of life. As much as it sucks, and as much as it's hard,
Oh,
you're not going to get your
yeah.
PR every time you go to the gym, right?
Uh,
Your business model might not be the best, or
yeah.
you might have an extra year that you need to do to graduate, whatever it
Yeah.
is, right?
Yeah.
Failure is necessary growth, and you're going to learn so much more from failure than if you never failed, right? You're going to
Yeah.
learn what works and what doesn't. And another thing that Craig Rochelle says, and we've been saying it for every type, is that you don't need the praise of people when you have the approval from God. And I think this is one of the best ones for the types here. Because you are image conscious and you're trying to please everyone by your achievements and by trying to be the best, realize that you don't need the praise of people when you have the approval of God. And I think that's a great foundation, rather than moving from the foundation of like, okay, I'm a people pleaser, but actually working from the foundation of like, I already have God's approval. It's so much easier to go from there because you're already set up to win, right? Whereas people, crowds, you see that throughout the history and throughout the world and in the Bible, crowds are fickle. They're going to change and they're going to flip flop and like waves. But God, having his approval should hopefully be the most important thing to us, and praying that God helps you understand that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. The last thing, as before we wrap up is, if you are listening to this episode and you still know you're not a 1, you're not a 2, you're not a 3, please take the exam, the little test. It's 15 minutes. And then after you take it, let us know. Like, even if we don't know you, okay, we can get to know you. So just let us know. Oh, hey, I'm so-and-so, and I'm a 2, I'm a 6, and I'm a 4.
Or 5-1 or 8-3.
Whatever it is. Just let us know, and it'll be awesome. We would love to hear that.
And together with that, hopefully you have been blessed through these types. If we haven't gotten to your types yet, hold on, it's coming. I'm a 9, and I can't wait till we get to 9. We have a couple more episodes, but we appreciate you guys tuning in. We love you guys. We really appreciate, and we pray for you guys. And so we hope that this has been beneficial to you, and it's been beneficial to us to talk about this, to be able to learn from each other. And hopefully as we do this, we will be able to trend up together. We love you guys.
Blessings.
Peace. Thanks for joining us today. Make sure to subscribe and follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Please rate us and share our content. Learn more about us by checking out our website. The link is in our show notes. From us to you, muchas gracias, and always keep trending up.